We had another solid hit on the Locky two-step and Locky Trinity at the last UFC event as Tracy Cortez and Gregory Rodriguez got the damn thing done for us to cash that Locky two-step at plus 109. And then Beneil Dariush did the damn thing against Renato Moicano and secured the Locky Trinity at plus 311 for us. Right back at it here, looking to continue to build upon this momentum with another Locky two-step and Locky Trinity. I will say, this one is going to be more risky than I usually do, so or usually try to look for. Not as much chalk. I got a couple dog spots that I'm feeling quite good about and hoping that if I put them together here, we can cash a very nasty and solid parlay, whether it's the two-legger or the three-legger. So I'm warning you now, it is a risky parlay. It is not so much a lock per se. It's a risky parlay, but I think it will pay off for us here. So let's get right into it. First step up in the Locky two-step is going to be Tuko Tokos, who comes in at plus 140. And I can already hear people laughing on the other end of this camera at this play, but I do not think Junior Tafa is that good at all. You know, he's a decent striker, but he's been outstruck. He's had his leg kicked off by Marcos Rogerio de Lima, for God's sakes. Does not have a grappling game. He was nearly finished by a short notice Sean Sharaf at the ending of the first round of their matchup because he has nothing off of his back. He's grabbed the cage over and over and over again, and I'm sure the referee that's going to be reffing this fight is aware of that and will cause either a point deduction or giving up the position should Tokos look to get this to the ground, which I think he will be. He's a BJJ black belt, and I think once he gets this fight to the ground, he can quickly get to a dominant position, and I think he can quickly find the finish here. So I fully expect Tokos to go out there and smash through Tafa from that top position and get that first round submission victory, and which is why I feel quite confident with putting him in my Locky two-step. The second step is going to be another underdog. We're going to go Calvin Kattar as he goes up against the streaking Steve Garcia. Now, I get it. You see 4 straight losses for Calvin Kattar, and you see 5 straight knockout victories for Steve Garcia, so you can kind of understand why Steve Garcia is the slight favorite. But if you look at each of those losses for Kattar individually and then how he normally fights stacked up against Steve Garcia, this is a very winnable fight for the perennial ranked top 15 featherweight in Calvin Kattar. He's the better technical striker. He's never been knocked out. His only loss by KO, TKO is that knee injury that he suffered at the hands of Arnold Allen, and we know he has very good durability to begin with. If it falls off this weekend, so be it. But everything that we've seen to this point shows that he can take a shot, and he's the far superior technical striker, and I think that will allow him to counter Steve Garcia effectively here, and I think that will lead to Kattar being the one who ends up finding the knockout against Steve Garcia, who has been knocked out in the past. Mahashate was able to get to him early in their fight. Kattar is more than capable of doing that as well. So we're going to go double underdog here for the Locky two-step, which I was able to lock in earlier this week at plus 380. It's now sitting at plus 390 as there has been a little bit of action coming in on Junior Tafa, pushing Tokos to about plus 145 now compared to the plus 140 number I got earlier this week. Now, the Locky Trinity can be completed if you throw in undefeated welterweight, or I should at least say undefeated at welterweight, Chidi Njokuani, who's looking for his 4th straight win in this division since going down to this weight class and looking to build upon that knockout victory he had over Elizio Zaleski last time out. He goes up against a tough Jake Matthews, who's finally put together a winning streak for the first time in 5 years. But I think this is a bad stylistic matchup for Matthews, who is not much of a knockout threat. In the 11 years that he's been with the UFC, has only knocked out 2 opponents. One of them being Andre Fialho, who we just know is not that good of a fighter to begin with and wasn't UFC level. And before that was a doctor stoppage against Akbar Ariola way back in the day. I think Njokuani can control the distance with his range, with his reach, utilize that teep kick up the middle to keep Matthews at bay. And I think even if this gets into the clinch, Njokuani can land nasty knees and elbows. But I think by the end of the 15 minutes, it'll clearly be Njokuani that lands more damage and wins this fight on the scorecards and hopefully cashes this Locky Trinity ticket for us. Earlier this week, plus 680 is the number I was able to get this Locky Trinity at. Now it's sitting at plus 696, mainly because of that action against Tokos earlier this week. So, yeah, Again, very, very risky parlay here, but I'm willing to put my record on the line to try to cash this ticket for us and hopefully come out on the winning end. All right. Ton of content this week. We got Cage Warriors and LFA both going down. I'll have breakdowns on the YouTube page for you guys. I believe the LFA breakdown should already be out. And then tomorrow I'll be dropping the Cage Warriors breakdown as well as the UFC Nashville prop drop. I'll see you guys then. Peace.